name is Jordan Pierce. I'm a senior at Fulton County High School, and I'm here today to learn about you and how you got to where you are today, and also to take your advice so I can use it to achieve my dreams. What inspired you to do what you are doing?
Well, I think I've always wanted to be a teacher, and I had a really, really good third grade teacher. And so when I was growing up, I would always go back and visit my third grade teacher. And believe it or not, when I first started teaching, I taught third grade.
Did you have a plan after high school to get where you are today?
I did. When I was in high school, I got a scholarship. The scholarship was to pay for my whole 4 years of college, and that is what really motivated me to go to school and to finish my degree.
Did you ever think about changing your career?
I have. I always wanted to be a teacher, but even now, I still think that there's other things that I would like to do, but teaching is where I think my heart is.
What kind of support did you have?
While I was in college, I did a lot of observations for classes, and being able to observe classes and different teachers gave me a lot more comfort and made me more comfortable going into the classrooms. So when I started teaching, especially with third grade where I started at, I'd already built up that support where if I knew I needed some help, I had a mentor that I could go to and work with. And also just being able to rely on other teachers within the grade level. So you really have to, very early on, find those that you need to work with, to communicate with for your needs, but also find a teacher that you can buddy up with.
Do you consider your occupation a job?
Well, I think in one sense I have to say yes because I do get paid for it, but in another sense, no. I think of being a kindergarten teacher as like being with my own kids at home. We do the same thing, you know, we play games, we just make it fun. Whether or not they know it, they're learning. We take care of all the basic needs first before we do our classwork and things, and we just treat each other like family. So in a sense, I don't consider it a job.
What made you realize what you're doing makes you happy?
Well, at the end of the day, when you feel like you have accomplished your goals for the day, that is when I'm the happiest. Now, of course, every day we don't accomplish everything, but when you can see your students smile and you can smile too, then I think that's what makes me the happiest.
Have you ever found more than one job you're happy with?
Actually, this is the only job that I've had. So this does make me happy. I will say I did work in first grade for a year. I've taught third grade for 4 years. I've taught fifth grade for a year. I've taught kindergarten for 12 years, and I did teach a year of first grade, but kindergarten is really what makes me the happiest. I enjoy that the most.
Did you always want to be where you are today?
I think yes, in a sense, but I will tell you that when I first started out in high school, you know, we had to take a little, I guess, answer some questions to decide what our opportunities were for the future. You know, when I was very young, I didn't always want to be a teacher. I wanted to be a veterinarian. So I think over time, still wanting to help and to interact with people, but I think teaching is just something that caught my eye, and I just kind of ran with it.
Did you have a quote that made you strive to reach your dreams?
I always think about the golden rule. I use that one in my classroom, even with my students, to treat others the way you want to be treated, and I think that's a quote that has always stuck with me.
Did you ever think about giving up?
Well, I have to say yes. When I first started teaching, I taught fifth grade. I started in the middle of the school year. January 5th, I believe, was the date that I started working. Taking over for another teacher was extremely difficult. It was my first teaching experience. The teacher that was leaving was actually taking another job at middle school. And she had a very good relationship with her students. And I think at that time, for me to step in, I think they were a little heartbroken. That was a very, very trying year. I always told myself if I could survive that year, then I was meant to stay in teaching, and I did.
Okay. Did you ever feel unhappy with where you are today?
No, I can't say I felt unhappy. You know, there are times where, and it could be just the week or what's happened, where you feel like you haven't done your best, but that's a time where you just look and see what else can I do to finish what I started and to take your kids forward.
How has your job affected your life?
Well, I'm not a millionaire. I think it's made me a better person. It's made me think about what I want for my own kids, because when my students come in, I treat them just like I would my own. And I really hope that my children are seeing the same thing. I just think of all of us as one big family, and we just go from there.
Can you give me your advice on how to reach my dreams?
Well, I think my best advice is if it's something that you really want to do, stick with it no matter what. Because the end result is going to be what you've dreamt of all along. There are going to be bumps in the road along the way, but that's that big puzzle that I call life.
Thank you for taking time to answer my questions and for letting me interview you. I'll be sure to put your advice to use.
Thank you very much.